Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your mothers have practically built themselves.
Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv and welcome to today's show. Today is number 2 of the Halloween displays and what I'm doing. Dragons and mermaids and pirates, oh my, or something into that. I've got 3 projects that I'm going to show you today, just kind of briefly run through them. You've seen most of the techniques I've used before and in some of these other projects, so we'll just go over it kind of quickly. This is not the final because I still have others that we will talk about. And then I guess in another week we're doing a spook alley here. Ooh, that ought to be fun. So stick with Mad Dog Merv as we look at part number 2 of Pirates and Dragons and Mermaids, oh my.
So back in July we picked up the Sea Captain from Lowe's. Pretty neat. He has like 5 different sayings, eyes light up, head moves, but he looks more like a more modern type sea captain. We're going to change that. We're going to make him a pirate. So off Amazon, I got some of this sea moss, which is going to be really cool. And then I also picked up this, it's just some green plastic seaweed. Thought that this would also enhance what I really want to do. So I'm going to start out by putting that on the wheel, and unfortunately I had some in the center section here that blew off before this picture was taken. We had a thunderstorm move in, but you get the idea of what I'm doing here with this. I bought some of these really nice black feathers from Amazon as well, and I had this hat. I think you've seen me wear this hat before personally from one of my pirate costumes that I have, and I put those in there. Kind of reminds me of Barbossa. Pretty cool looking. Okay, so then I went ahead and took some cabochons, some glass cabochons, painted an iris on them, and put them on the eyeballs. And when they light up, this is what you see. And I really like how this turned out. The other thing I did is I took something called real blood and I put it in some of the sores on his face.
Struggling try for the gasping for a final breath, the icy black grip of the angry sea death. Oh, how I miss the lonely adventures on the sea.
And here he is at night, and you can see I've put a green light kind of off to the side. I'm going to get some, I've got a fog machine that I'll put there in the window, and that's going to look really cool, I think. So for the next project, I've promised you guys a dragon, and here you go. My son picked this up for like $25, picked up a couple of them. Can't remember the place, so I won't tell you, but they're just white plastic. This is begging to have something done to it. So I went ahead and got it primed up with my Rust-Oleum 2X black, so it was primed and shiny and pretty. On this one, I used a little bit of this Regal Red for my base and some Banner Red on top of that. Then on the lower areas, I used my Color Shift paint. And you can see here with the 2 reds and the color shift kind of on the bottom, giving it that little bit of an effect. So far, I'm liking how this looks. I want to paint the nails, so I decided to get really weird on this. Instead of just doing gloss black, I decided to do this green, this metallic green from testers that I had. And voila, I do like how it turned out. Now, one thing you'll notice in this picture is the dark areas, kind of the wrinkles of the skin. I went ahead and used that technique with something I call Larry's bathwater. It's something you've probably heard me talk about many, many times, but it's a wash. It's a sludge wash. Once it dries, then I go lightly dry brush over it, and you can see on the head here how that turned out. Really like this effect on this red one. And you can see kind of the overall thing here. I went ahead and primed the bones in a white primer, Mr. Surfacer actually, and then I painted them with, I believe it was Soviet sand. Now I used almost exclusively enamels in this whole build, just so you know. Used some Soviet sand. I like that bone color. I think this is going to be all right, but some family members didn't like it. So I'm like, okay, we'll do a different color. So I decided to take the lamp apart and paint the whole thing in semi-gloss black to get it started. And of course, we're going to prime in semi-gloss black the other arm as well. This one I want to do kind of a green color. This one I picked up for half price because the bottle itself had some damage on the label. So I picked this up at MRS Hobby, and I never tried it before, but it's a lacquer, so we're going to spray it and see how it goes and look at it. I do like this color. This is going to look good on a car project, I think, but it looks good here. And you can see on the bottom where I used the color shift paint and how that looked. Ooh, nice transition there. Now I did not give this a wash, but what I did do is give it a highlight. Decided to use some good old-fashioned Testors 1/4 ounce just gloss green. Figured this would look really nice in kind of a dry brush arrangement. So I got my nice wide brush out and went ahead, went to town, and you can see these scales just popped. Really didn't need to do a wash on this, and I'm glad I didn't. So see how this turned out? I like it, but if you like that, check this out. I really like how that claw looks. Wow, that's really a neat color. So for the nails on this one, I decided to do something a little bit different. Mixed up some purple metallic and some copper metallic, which just gave me a little bit darker color copper, honestly. And I went ahead and did the nails in this color. I think it's a good contrast to the rest of the piece. At least that's just my opinion. So that's how this turned out. Now for the next move, I'm going to paint the base with this chestnut, French chestnut or whatever, that I had left over. And again, you'll notice that there's no wash down in the lower areas of this. And I'm okay with it. I really am. When you see the final result, I think you will be too. So for the top of the lamp, I mixed up, I honestly can't tell you the colors of green, but it was a couple of military colors, okay, that I mixed and came up with this nice kind of a green, and hand painted it on the top of the lamp. After everything was dry, I sealed it all with some of this Varathane satin clear. I want this thing to be able to be outside and be protected, and poof, here you go. Here's what it looks like assembled. I'm kind of liking this. Yeah, I do like the black better than the white bones for sure. And here you go, both of them together at night under the lights in the doghouse. Both sides. Yeah, I'm kind of liking how this is coming together. So, and here we are, hanging them up outside. Yes, I could still do the wash if I wanted to, but I really like it without the wash on the green one. And there's our red one. One thing you will notice that I neglected to mention earlier is I did take a gray. It was a light gray and dry brushed all of the highlighted areas on this particular claw and its base. Okay, so for our next piece, I got this mermaid, was going to do something with it, and then I realized this mermaid's about the size of a 4-year-old. I thought, no way, not doing this. So I went to Lowe's, picked up a larger full-size skeleton for like $25, sent to Amazon, got some of these eyes. Unfortunately, I think they're undersized, but you be the judge. I went ahead, glued a couple in. I did have this black and white Cruella de Vil wig laying around, and I threw that on her. I don't like it, but it's what I had. So I went ahead for the lower part of her. I went ahead and used bubble wrap. Yeah, just bubble wrap and some hot glue. Tied her feet together, and that's how that turned out. For the tail, I had this red material. I don't know what it is. It's kind of a plastic, but it's very soft and flexible. honestly, it's kind of spongy. I just really don't know what it is, but I cut it out to kind of look like a tail. I took some hot glue and made these streaks for the bones. And yes, it does look rushed, and it was, but it is what it is this year. And you can see I've got her articulated so that she can sit down, which is what I'm going to do with her. And she's pretty much ready for paint. I'm going to go ahead and try to use the 2X primer. However, I ran out about halfway through. So I wound up using some of the Tamiya TS19 in some of the areas, kind of in the center section. And then, of course, I sprayed over pretty much everything with my color shift paint. Now, on the tail, I did a couple of things. I added a little bit of brown, leather brown. I added a little bit of a gold and made some streaks in it. And you can kind of see that here, just experimenting to see how it looks. And then sprayed my color shift paint over it. And it gives me that kind of tonal variation. And you can see these aren't the best scales, but from a distance they're going to work. And you can see here I used some of that Tamiya blue and also some gold. Again, kind of experimenting on her backside here. See how that would go. And here's our finished product for now. So here's the tail. Yes, it could be done a lot better. And here are the scales on her lower part. And from a distance, they actually look pretty good. Went ahead and got a pitchfork or trident, put it in her hands. Of course, a coconut bra, you got to have that. And stood her up. I like how she stands, but I decided to put her higher up on the playhouse. And you can see back in there her eyes. She does have a button. You push the button and the eyes will light up. And here she is sitting on top of the playhouse, keeping guard on things. And I think I'm going to be okay with this for the Spook Alley that we're going to be doing. So, all right, guys, I hope you like this. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again soon with some more Halloween stuff.